Hi, welcome to the Online Jewelry Academy. I'm Professor John Ahr and I'm your instructor. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about a great way to do image transfer. But before I do that, I'd like to thank those who are helping to sponsor the production of this video through their support of the OJA on Patreon. If you'd like to help to produce future videos through a small donation, just click on the link. All right, let's get to it. Now, in previous videos, I talked to you about different ways to apply a design to your piece for piercing using a variety of different techniques. Now, one of those techniques was using a scriber. Now, that requires you to make a light scratch into the surface of your piece. But what happens if you change your mind midway through? Well, if you don't cut the entire design that you've scribed onto your piece, you've basically guaranteed that you're going to have to use sandpaper and buffing compounds to remove those scratches when you're finishing that piece. Okay, so another way that I showed you was you could use a permanent marker that left no scratches. But the problem with using a permanent marker is that sometimes when you're handling the piece, the lubrication on the blade and your finger oils, they all interact and pretty soon you end up with just a big smudgy mess. So another solution I gave you was to use stickers. And that's great, but I think I have an even better solution for you, and that is to use acetone. Now, acetone is available anywhere. You can get it at the supermarket. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use acetone to take my original images and apply them completely without any loss of any detail to the surface of my piece. Now, the preparation that you need to make with your drawings or your designs is you have to take your drawings to a copier that uses a laser printer cartridge. In other words, a toner cartridge. And you're going to end up with something that looks just like your drawing, but it's printed with the toner material. That's what's going to transfer. Now, what's great news for some of you who are a little bit more technically savvy, you could work in Photoshop and Illustrator and just print to a laser printer, and that will work too. All right, so now that we know what we need, let me show you how to do it. First, we have a piece of very clean, textured, lightly textured metal. Now, you could use sandpaper or maybe even a 3M cloth in order to just scratch up that surface to give it a little bit of texture, a little bit of a bite. I think it's called putting a tooth to your metal. Anyway, look at this one right here. I've already done a transfer. I did a jellyfish and a turtle. Now, the thing I want you to pay attention to, though, is that when I did my transfer, I lifted it up and revealed the design, but look, I got a mirror image. So if you're trying to do something perfectly that requires it in just the right way, you need to anticipate the fact that it's going to be applied backwards. So if you're working in Photoshop or Illustrator, you could just flip the image. Okay, now the tools that you're going to need, obviously you're going to need scissors to cut your design from the paper, but I have an ordinary kitchen spoon, which I'm going to use as a burnisher, and you know that I'm going to use acetone, but this is kind of unwieldy and I can't control it very well. All right, I could use a cotton swab or even a cotton ball to apply the acetone, but a little applicator bottle is great. If you put just a tiny bit in the bottom of it, look, if I turn it to the side, doesn't even drip. So this will help me to be a little bit more accurate and make the room not so smelly. All right, so clean metal with a light texture, a toner image, and all I need to do is just pick this image up and put it down. And then what I want to do is just grab my applicator bottle and put just a little bit of acetone on each of those images. Now, I'm going to let that acetone soak through the paper. I'm going to anchor it with a finger, and then I'm just going to take the spoon and just lightly burnish. Don't press too hard. You don't want to make the image smeary or smudgy. Okay, so let me just move that around a little bit more. Okay, the acetone needs to dry, but it dries like that. But while we're letting it dry, let me mention right now that you can always follow Online Jewelry Academy on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we post some really cool things on social media. Okay, let's see what we got. It looks dry, and now I'm just going to lift the corner of the paper, and there you go. I've got bugs complete with legs. I hope you like this video. Check out our complete playlist on the onlinejewelryacademy.com, and don't forget to click the button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen and subscribe right now. Thanks for watching.